Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please like and subscribe. It means a lot. But today I'm going to be answering questions about Australia and Thailand. If you don't know, I'm actually moving there on the 3rd of February. I'm leaving Ireland. I'm going to travel around Thailand for 3 weeks and then I'm moving on to Perth, and then I'm going to do the remainder of my 2-year visa in Australia in Sydney. So I'm going to explain everything today, and I've got loads of questions from people on Instagram as well when I put up a question box. So I'm going to go through them because it might help you if you're planning on moving to Australia or immigrating there, or if you're planning on just touring Thailand, just to kind of see what I did. I will also leave links for everything that I'm explaining today in the description. So if I'm telling you about how I booked something, how I applied for a visa, it'll all be linked. So keep watching and I'm going to go through the questions now. Okay, so there is a lot of questions, so if anything kind of repeats itself, I obviously will try to answer as much as I can in one go. So I suppose before I get into it fully, I will explain something. So like I said, I'm traveling to Thailand for 3 weeks first, then I'm going to Perth, and then I'm going to Sydney. The reason I'm going to Perth is because I'm doing my regional work there. So for anyone who doesn't know, if you're going to Australia and you are not sponsored, you will have to apply for a working holiday visa. And on this working holiday visa, if you want to apply for a second year, you'll need to complete 3 months of regional work within that first 12 months. So our plan is to go to Australia, and within the first 12 months, we need to have completed 3 months regional work so that we can stay for the second year as well. So we're going straight to Perth. I'm hoping to get straight into our regional work there. So it's out of the way, we're not worrying about it, and then we'll go on to Sydney. The reason we're not going to Sydney first and then leaving is because we might have an apartment, we might have good jobs, we might be comfortable, and it might be harder for us to leave, but we will be kicking ourselves when we obviously do need to leave and do the 3 months. So we said we just get the 3 months over and done with. Now what the regional work is you basically have to go to certain different postcodes in Australia, and you need to do certain required like jobs. So not everything does count, but recently in a lot of areas some things have come in, like bartending and like waiting in a hotel. It used to literally just be working on a farm, so like lots of people, you'd hear them say like they're doing their farm work, but it is just regional work now, and there is loads of different kind of ways around doing specific farm work. Now me myself, I'm planning on getting into traffic control. Now hopefully that all goes well for me. I need to pass my driving test next week, so we'll see. You do need a full license to get into traffic control for most of the places, just because you'll be driving a yurt, I think they're called. But anyways, I'll get into that in a few minutes. But just in case you're wondering why I'm going to Perth first, or because a lot of questions are going to revolve around that, I said I'd explain that first. If you're planning on going to Australia and you don't have sponsorship, or your partner doesn't have sponsorship, you'll need to get your 3 months done if you plan on staying longer than a year. Now if you have got sponsorship, say if you're a nurse and you're going over to a hospital and you know you'll get sponsored straight away, you and your partner can actually hop off of your visa. So if I was sponsored because I was a nurse, Jamie would actually be able to hop onto my visa and he'd be able to be sponsored with me, meaning that we could both get more permanent roles in Australia and stay there for longer than a year or 2 years, and we wouldn't have to do any regional work. So I hope that kind of clears things up. With sponsorship though, as long as you are sponsored by a business, you must stay working for that business. So I won't even go try and looking for sponsorship personally. It'll be a lot harder for myself. I haven't got like, you know, 3rd level education behind me or anything like that. I know a lot of the time it's got to do with experience rather than qualifications, but I'm not purposely looking for sponsorship because I don't want to be locked into one job and then that kind of determines my happiness. And like, you know, like I have to stay in Australia and it has to stay with this company. You don't have the freedom to move once you're sponsored, unless obviously you find another job that wants to sponsor you, but sponsorship's a lot of money. So anyways, I just thought I'd just air that bit out first, let you know the plan is 3 weeks touring in Thailand, then it's Perth to do the regional work. You need to do 88 days. As well as this, you don't actually have to do them all together. You could actually do like weekends, like 3 days a week for the entire year if you wanted to get your 88 days done. I hope I've explained that clearly enough. If there's any kind of more questions or anything, let me know in the comments and I will try to explain them. But that's basically everything I've learned so far. That's what my friends have done over there. A lot of my friends have gone over there not doing the regional work first, and now they're kicking themselves because they don't want to kind of get into a sponsorship with a company when they haven't like dipped their toes into other work. But yeah, if you go over there on the working holiday visa and you don't do your farm work, your visa is expired after 12 months. You can't do 12 months and then decide to do your farm work. It has to be within the 12 months. So that's everything on that. I'm going to get straight into the questions because I'm probably waffling, but I just kind of wanted to go over that bit. Okay, so the first question, and these might be in like weird order, but we'll just get to it. Are you bringing all of your Australia clothes to Thailand with you or having them shipped over? So for myself, what me and Jamie are doing is we're backpacking through Thailand for 3 weeks. We're bringing a big massive backpack, and that's going to do us for the clothes we're packing for Thailand and for Perth. So Perth is actually a hotter area than Sydney, say, and obviously it'll be going into, when we get there and we start working there, it'll be March, and we'll be working for the 3 months. So it'll be just coming to June, so it'll be the start of their winter. However, Perth is a little bit warmer than Sydney, so we won't really need our heavy winter clothes by then. So what we're doing is we're actually posting a suitcase each over to our friends in Australia, and we're letting them keep them until we're going to Sydney. So they'll be kind of same with them. We might get our parents to send them over for us so they're not actually staying in someone's house for so long, but what we're doing is we're packing all of our like summery clothes for Thailand, and then just comfy casual clothes for Perth. Like I said, we're not going to be like in an office or anything. We're doing our regional work. We'll more than likely have a uniform, so we won't be needing like all of our proper like winter clothes or blazers or pants or work clothes. So we're going to be posting over a suitcase with any of our jeans, pants, blazers, good quality work clothes, maybe even high heels, things like that we'll need once we're living like the normal life, like once we're back into an apartment and we've got like a proper job. So that's basically what we're doing there. So yeah, I hope that answers the question. We're packing just for Thailand and Perth and shipping over the rest. In case you're wondering how we're shipping it over, so my friends have told me that in the airport you can actually just bring a suitcase with you to the airport, and you can just pay in the airport. Like there's loads of these different luggage companies that'll just post it directly to you. We're actually just going to look into it, a third party one ourselves, and just send it. But there is loads. I've given a little Google search before, like send my package or send my post or send my suitcase and things like that, from Ireland to Australia, and it's relatively cheap, so it'll be cheaper than like checking on extra luggage onto a flight. So that's what we're doing. Obviously we don't want to have to bring a big suitcase with us when we're in Thailand, because we will be backpacking for 3 weeks, so we don't want to have the suitcase and the backpack. Okay, so the next one was, did I use an agency for my visa? Like use it because they're unsure of what to use. So me and Jamie did not use an agency for our visa at all. We just went onto the Australian government website. I'll link the Australian government website below as well. So I think it's like gov.aus or something like that. And we went onto that. I think it's the subclass visa 417. I'll correct on the screen if I got that wrong. But it's the working holiday visa year 1, and that's the application you need to fill out. For the application, I think it's between €150 and €300. Haven't got the exact number off the top of my head. I probably should have looked at it before I started filming, but I'll write down here how much the visa was. In the visa, we needed to upload any of our own, like all of our own information. We'd upload pictures of our passports. We'd upload proof of funds in your bank account. So to get into Australia, you need to have €3,000 per person in your account. It's just kind of proof that you're able to fund yourself for a while, because you might not land a job straight away. That's not needed until you're actually on your flight. You can leave a little note on the application saying, I'm still saving funds or something like that. I luckily did have it, and so did Jamie, so we were able to screenshot it straight away and upload that and attach it to the form. Once you've your visa paid for, then it'll tell you if it's pending, it'll tell you if it's approved or if it's declined. Me and Jamie's luckily was approved instantly. So it's about a 10 or 11 page form. It's a really long form. Some of the pages only have 1 or 2 questions. It is long, but it's the subclass 417 visa, working holiday visa, and it's the year 1 visa. You're obviously not applying for the year 2. Once you're in your 12-month period in Australia, that's when you can apply for the year 2, when you've your farm work done. Something very important to note as well, if you are applying, say if you apply for your visa now, you need to get into Australia within 12 months, otherwise that visa expires, so you've wasted your money. So we applied in September, and we now have until next September to enter Australia. Once you enter Australia, then your year in Australia starts. So basically that's how it works. So don't go applying for your visa if you're not planning on leaving just yet. Do apply a couple of months before you decide to leave, but don't do it if you're just thinking you might go in the next few years. I'll apply for the visa now and leave it sitting there. Don't do that. It'll only work for 12 months. And then, like I said, once you land in Australia, that's when your 12 months, 1 year period starts. So they're 2 different 12-month periods, but just keep that in mind anyway. So I hope that clears things up. So the next one is, what part of Australia are you going to, and who did you go to for health insurance? So I've already answered what part of Australia we're going to. We're going to Perth first to do our 88 days regional work. Like I said, we are planning on doing traffic control. If I don't get my full license, we might need to look into something else, but there's loads of different things we can do. I'll also leave a little link of what counts as your regional work and the kind of postcodes and things like that you can do. Like I said, there are loads of different places you can go. You can do bar work and hotel work. Obviously, if you do something like traffic control, it's a higher wage, you're going to be saving more money. Me and Jamie aren't really interested in going over and doing the easy life for the 3 months of just doing bar work and stuff. We don't want to get a bad wage. We want to be able to save a lot of money so that when we're going to Sydney, we have got money to spend if we want to travel a little bit before we go back into work. So that's what we're planning on doing. As well, I did forget to mention, but with the visa that you get, the working holiday visa, once you're not sponsored and you've got the visa that I'm getting, you can only work in the same job for 6 months at a time. Now, if anyone has friends in Australia and they said that that rule isn't like happening right now, at this current moment in time, for like last year, it wasn't enforced because of COVID-19. Australia did need a lot of people to come over and do work, so they kind of lifted that ban. However, a lot of places are really strict on it now. It's coming back into force. Of course, there will always be like here and there where you might hear someone who didn't have to leave after 6 months, but for the general like rule of thumb, you have to remove jobs every 6 months. So a lot of the work you'll be doing could be like filling in for maternity leave, temp work, things like that. A lot of couples do go over, and if the male gets into like a sponsorship with like roadworks or machinery, like, you know, hard labor, he might get sponsored, and then the girlfriend can like hop off his visa. So like there's loads of different things you can do. Once one of you is sponsored, that 6 month rule doesn't apply, and you don't have to do your regional work, like I said. But yeah, just keep in mind you will have to move jobs every 6 months on the working holiday visa. The visa is intended for people to go over there, travel and holiday, and then you're able to just get a job to kind of save up a little bit of money in between. It's not actually supposed to be for someone who's going over there to like launch a whole new career. Obviously people use it that way, but just keep that in mind. So I'll be moving jobs every 6 months, and that's just what the visa kind of allows you to do, which I think there's kind of a lot of freedom in, because you don't have to be too stressed about work and things like that. But I just thought I'd let you know. Anyways, I hope I'm being really like clear and thorough, and I hope I'm not waffling on too much. Sometimes it's like hard to explain it, so I'm trying to like over explain things a few different ways so people understand what it is I'm saying, because I know when someone said it to me at first I hadn't a clue what they were talking about. Did you have to book 2 separate plane tickets for Thailand and Australia? Yes, I did. So I'm going to Thailand for 3 weeks, and then I'll be going to Australia afterwards, so it's 2 completely different flights. We're actually doing 4 flights altogether. We are doing, oh, I can't even tell you what we're doing at this stage. Basically we went on to Skyscanner. If you don't know what Skyscanner is a website that will look up all different, sorry, my little teddy. Skyscanner is a website that will look up all different flights, and they'll give you the cheapest options for those dates and things like that. And the flights that we wanted are all connecting flights, so like it's going to be a long haul, but luckily, obviously, because some of the flights are like 3 weeks later, it won't feel too bad. So it's basically 1 stopover each time we fly. So we're doing Dublin to Bangkok, but there's a stopover in between, and then 3 weeks later after that then we'll be doing Bangkok to Perth, with a stopover in between as well. So we went onto Skyscanner, we figured out the dates and the flights that we wanted. We didn't book with Skyscanner, we actually went onto each individual airline and booked it all ourselves privately, because there was no there was no way we had to like leave the airport. It's all like within the airport, so we were just like, you know what, let's just book this all individually, because then we avoided the Skyscanner fees. I think we saved about 200 euros. All in all, our flights were 790 euros each, and that was from Dublin to Thailand to Perth. So like we did book it all in one go. However, it's obviously all different flights. There's 4 different flights to be taking for that. Hope that makes sense as well. The next one is, have you a route you're going to travel Thailand with? So yes, basically a couple of years ago I was supposed to go to Thailand with my friends on a backpacking tour, but I decided to go to Canada instead to visit Jamie because he was living there at the time, and I didn't go. The girls did go, and it was a 3-week backpacking tour. The website is called Backpacking Tours. They do tours around Thailand, Bali, like loads of different places you can pop it on. I will obviously link it, but we decided to sign up for this tour. It was 2,200 euros, no, 2,000 euro, that was it. It was 2,000 euros. We paid 300 euro deposit, and then we paid the remaining 1,700 the other day. And with this tour then they'll actually collect you from the airport, drop it back to the airport, your accommodation is all sorted, you get 1 meal a day, and all the activities are included. If you pop onto their website, I'll leave a link below with the video and stuff of the tour. It's absolutely amazing, and I think 2,000 euros for 3 weeks is absolutely brilliant. Obviously You yourself could probably think that you could do a little bit cheaper if you wanted to, but we are really bad when it comes to things. Like, we will not plan things perfectly, and we want to see as much as we possibly can. So with a tour like this, you do get to do a lot of things you probably wouldn't have thought of yourself. You might only island hop yourself, you mightn't actually do the full thing. So I think a tour is perfect for us. We really want to see as much as we can, and the tour does have a lot of down days and things like that where we can just chill and relax, and we're seeing a good chunk of Thailand with that tour as well, and like all of the kind of important bits. So I'll leave that below. It was €2,000 and that covers us for 3 weeks. They did advise us to bring like between £10 and £20 a day spending money in case we wanted to buy extra things. Obviously we'll be buying ourselves an extra like meal during the day because only one meal is included per day, but they said on it like £10 per person is what's estimated to be needed to be spent a day. So I feel like we'll be doing it pretty cheap. We're giving ourselves a budget of like €300 to spend each for the 3 weeks, like €100 a week. And we're hoping that works. Apparently that's perfectly a good amount of money. So I'll let you know afterwards. I'll do a follow-up video after it, but yeah, that's the situation with Thailand. We're not doing it ourselves. We are going with the group. The group is between like 10 and 30 people, and they're from the age of 18 up to 39. So it's going to be fun. My friends have literally done this exact tour. They said it was brilliant. I can't wait for it. It looks amazing. Next question is, someone wants a packing video. So I will do a packing video when I get back around to packing my bags. I'll probably be packing in about 3 weeks. Someone said, are you leaving suitcases in storage in Thailand? So yeah, like I said again, I'm actually shipping the main suitcase over to Australia myself. I'll just have my big backpack on my back, and a lot of it is just like we're not actually walking like for ages and ages. So like we'll be booked into like maybe one hotel for like a couple nights. We'll have I'll have a small school bag and then obviously my big backpacking bag. So things that I need daily, I'll just be using my little backpack for, and I'll leave it in the big bag in the hotel. But no, I won't have a suitcase with me, luckily. So the next bit is, where will you be staying once you get to Australia? So Australia at the moment does have a little bit of a housing crisis. I'm not going to lie, like there is a slight housing crisis over there. There is no possible way that me and Jamie will be able to find accommodation over there without physically being there ourselves. Hopefully going well. The traffic control job that we want to do in Perth, basically Jamie's best friend is over there. He's doing it, and they put you up and they give you accommodation. So the way it works is you work 2 weeks on, 1 week off. While you're on site and while you're working for those 2 weeks, they give you accommodation and they give you food. Now, I might not get this one, so if I do end up getting this job, I will give you more information on that. I'll do a whole separate video about the specific company I'm working for. I'll give you links, I'll tell you what I need to do to apply, and I'll give you my honest opinion on it. I may not get this. It all depends if I get my driving license or not. I might have to go to plan B, and even if I have a driving license, they may not hire us, who knows. But all going well, we do get that job, we won't be getting accommodation in Perth. We're only there for the 88 days. What we'll be doing is I'll be living in the accommodation that they give us for the 2 weeks we're on. The week we're off, they fly us back into the city of Perth, and we'll just stay in a hostel for that week. It'll only be a few weeks basically when you add it all up, and you can get like a private couple room and stuff. Like the hostels aren't the same as they are in Ireland. They're like hotel kind of hostels, so we can get our own little private room and stuff. So we'll be doing that for the week. That's what everyone else does. That's what Jamie's friend has told us that they do. He said that there's loads of couples over there that do the same thing, and he'll always just get a room with like a few of his friends that he's met over there as well. And then for their week off as well, like some people go on holidays to like Bali, or they'll go over to Sydney, or they'll go to Melbourne. Like you have that entire week off, which is absolutely brilliant. So we're not looking for accommodation in Perth. When we first arrived there, we were staying at Perth Airport Hotel or something like that. We're getting collected from the airport and we're booked in there for 2 nights. We're not arriving until like 1 o'clock in the morning, so we'll need the 2 nights because the next day we'll be asleep all day, and then we've the next night. If we we're going to try to find a hostel then as well for maybe like a week or so, while we're applying for jobs and stuff. And if we don't, we'll just book back into that hotel. It was pretty cheap. I think it was €121 for the 2 nights, which is amazing because a hotel in Ireland would be like €160, €180 just for 1 night. So it's not too expensive, and obviously we're going over with savings, so we can afford to do that. When it comes to accommodation though, we are not pre-planning much at all. Like I said, we can't go looking at apartments and things like that. We're personally not in the mindset of renting out an apartment while we're in Perth. We're only planning on being there for the 3 months to do the regional work and then going to Sydney. And again, once we're in Sydney, we'll probably have to get an Airbnb or stay in a hostel or just stay at our friend's house until we get our own accommodation. You do need to view it yourself. The landlords do need to meet you, or the letting agency to meet you. This isn't something you can pre-plan. If you've got friends over there already and they can organise it for you, say like if you were planning on moving over to your friends and you're planning on living with your friends, if they go and they look at it, they can 100% look at it and like sign up the lease and just add your name to it for you, if they're living there too. But me and Jamie are going to be living with anyone else besides each other, so we physically need to be there ourselves to get our apartment. Everyone I know who's gone over there has been perfectly fine. They might have been like without accommodation for a couple of weeks or so, and then they found something. So like I said, we'll be staying at friends' houses when we get to Sydney, staying in an Airbnb or booking a hostel. But for Perth for now, we're in no way planning on getting an apartment. Like, we'd have to break a lease. There isn't like 3-month leases and things like that. And again, if we're doing the traffic control job, we won't even be in the city of Perth. We'll be outside it, and they'll be giving us accommodation for the 2 weeks that we work. So it'll only be a week here and there that we'll actually be needing to afford our own rent. So we're going to save the money and we're going to do it that way. It's going to be a rough few months. If anyone knows me, you know that like I love my own space. I love keeping, like, you know, I just like making it something very homely. So it will be weird, but it's only for 3 months. And to be honest, I booked my visa 6 months ago and I can't believe that I'm here recording a video saying that I'm going to be going in the next 4 weeks. Like, it's crazy. Time does fly. That one out. So the next one is, have you got a job already and what's the story with farm work? So no, I haven't got the job already. Like I was saying there, you can actually apply for the regional work that I'm planning on doing before you get there. You just put in the dates that you'll be available to work. However, I don't have my driving license yet, and you do need an Australian driving license number. So like, you could apply for it if you had an Australian driving license. However, I don't have one. So when we get there, if I have a full driving license, I need to change that over to an Australian one straight away. As soon as I have my Aussie license, I'll be able to apply. But we're not like pre-planning anything. If you know people that are over there, or if you join some of the Facebook pages like Irish Living in Perth, Irish Living in Melbourne, Irish Living in Sydney, wherever it is you're going to go, you will be able to find some regional work jobs. They're like all there on Facebook. Sometimes people are always recruiting people. Loads of times there's hotels and like the Outback and things like that that are looking for staff, or like banana farms or like oranges and things like that. Like, there is a lot of work that is available, and it's easy just to look up. You just need to search it on the Facebook pages. The really good ones I found was Irish around Sydney and Irish around Perth. Even just pop in a little question box being like, hi guys, does anyone know of some regional work myself and my partner can do, or I can do for the 3 months? Like I said, I'll have a list of all the places that all the kind of subcategories that counts as regional work, and the list of the postcodes from the Australian government website. I'll have that linked in the description, so do check that out. But no, we are figuring everything out when we get there. This is what our friends have done. This is what anyone I've known. I actually don't know anyone who's gone over there to a job that they already had kind of pre-organised. We're just going with the flow. This is why it's good to have savings, so that you can kind of back yourself for the few weeks that you might have to be unemployed over there. So the next question is, how do you go about visas, and are you going to do the farm work? If so, how are you going about finding it? So I've kind of answered all these already. The visa was from the Australian government website. I am doing the regional work and finding it as well. Like I said, I just know someone who's over there doing it. They told us how to apply. We're going to hopefully apply for that. If not, I'll figure something else out when I'm there. I know a couple other people in Perth as well, so if you don't get that company, we might get another company. We're going to figure it out when we get there. To be honest, we have a little bit of an idea. It all depends on my driving license, of course. I'll know by next Monday if I have passed or failed my driving test. If I failed it, we're going to start looking for some plan Bs. Like I said, the Facebook pages are brilliant to find kind of options, and just even texting anyone you know, even if it's like a fifth cousin, text somebody you know and ask them what they did, and just word of mouth. Like, see if there's any other YouTube videos like my own, see if there's an Instagram blogger or TikToker who's posted about it. Just use the internet. The internet is such a good source. I find so much information just from TikTok these days, or just from watching YouTube videos. So have a look at those then as well. How much money do you have saved to be able to afford the trip? So how much money do you save to be able to afford the trip? Okay, that's a bit of a strange question. I suppose, like, I feel like you're thinking that this is a holiday and you're asking how can I afford something, but I'm going to answer this as if you've asked how much money do you need to save to go and move to Australia. So to get into Australia, you need to have 3,000 euros in your bank account per person. That's the minimum that you need. I would bring over a lot more than that. Me and Jamie are aiming for about 8 to 10 grand each. That's what we have at the moment. So yeah, that's just, it takes a lot of time obviously to save up that much money. Friends that we've known that went over there with 8,000 euros, I think that converts into something like $13,000. They said that that was absolutely plenty. So for me, I'm pretty comfortable going over with about 8,000. I just feel like we mightn't get our license our licenses mightn't be moved to Australian licenses straight away. The regional work that we're doing mightn't be in demand right then, like something might be shut down, our roads might be closed. It just mightn't be a good time to start work immediately, and we might be out of work for like a month when we get there. We'll need the money to be able to survive. 3,000 is the minimum that you can bring in. Like if you get pulled like for your checks or anything like that at the airport, you'll need to prove that you have got 3,000 euros in your bank account. But everything else on top of that then is a plus. I would say in between 5,000 and 8,000 is a comfortable enough amount of money. People I know that have gone over there, it's been between about 6 and 8. As much money as you have is the better option. Obviously then once you start working and stuff, it's really good to have a little bit of money put aside for like a rainy day, in case your washing machine breaks, like, or in case you need to buy a car, something like that. Obviously your landlord will fix your washing machine, but you guys know what I mean. It's always better to have money in case of a rainy day, especially on the working holiday visa where you need to change jobs every 6 months. You might be out of work again for another month, or you might switch from weekly payments to monthly payments. It might be a bit of a delay. You might have missed the monthly payout that month. It's always good to have extra money, so do plan ahead. If you are planning on moving to Australia, start saving a good year ahead of it if you can, even a little bit every single month. Me and Jamie 3 months ago decided to move home to my parents' house, so we weren't paying for rent, bills, utilities anymore, and that obviously helped us save a massive chunk, so we cut out our expenses as much as we can. So if that's something that's possible for you to do, then go ahead and do that. But like I said, 3,000 is the minimum that you need for Australia, and we are budgeting only about 300 euros for Thailand because we've obviously paid for the all-inclusive tour for the $2,000 each, so that's what we paid. Yeah, so all in all, this has been about a 10,000 euro each payment. So 8 for Oz, 2 for Thailand. Yeah, I hope that answers the question properly. Someone said, what excites you about Australia? So I feel like I never really wanted to move to a different country. If anyone listens to my podcast, I've said before, like, I just love Ireland. I feel like this is my place of comfort. But unfortunately for me, all of my friends have decided to move. Like, my little comfort bubble is kind of slowly but surely exploding. It came to the point where I had like so many friends from college and stuff living in Limerick with me, and then all of a sudden I just had 2. So like the girls lived across the road from me, they all moved to like New York, Ibiza, London. Loads of my friends have to move into London, loads of my friends have to move into to Australia, and some are after moving to, what's the name of the place? Dubai. Can't even speak. Some of my friends are teachers and have to move into Dubai. So a lot of my friends are just moving, and I said, you know what, before I decide to like have a mortgage, settle down, have kids, all of that like really crazy life stuff, or like taking a loan for a car, before I decide to do all that crazy stuff, let's just go to Australia and see what the buzz is about. I feel like life in Ireland will wait. I'll come back and it'll be the same. I know so many people who have come home from Australia and they're like, it feels like nothing's changed. So if nothing is going to change for the next 2 years, I may as well go out and have a little bit of an adventure in between. We were thinking about Canada, but Jamie's actually lived in Canada before and he used up his 2-year visa there and he can't get another one. And to be honest, I'm not good with the cold, I'm not good with the heat either, but we've got a lot of friends that are either in Australia or moving there, so we'll still have that little bit of a comfort bubble. We'll be able to spread our wings and fly a bit, but that's basically why my Irish friends have all moved over. So I want to kind of just have a bit of fun with them. What activities and tourist attractions do you want to visit in Thailand and Australia? So everything that I want to see in Thailand is on this tour, which is good. In Australia, me and Jamie are hoping to obviously see Perth and a good bit of Perth. We want to obviously go down to Sydney because that's the 2 places we'll be living. We do want to visit Adelaide. I have a best friend who lives there. We want to visit Melbourne because Jamie's best friend lives there. We want to do kind of like the Golden Coast and like basically we want to see as much of it as we can. The 2 of us aren't going over there focused on a career or like trying to like advance their careers. We're focused on coming home with money so that we've got money to afford an extortionate house in Ireland and traveling and seeing Australia. Like, it's such a beautiful country. I don't feel like it's somewhere you hop on a plane in Ireland, you just go on holidays for a week in Australia. Like, you know, it's not something that you get to do all of the time. It's kind of once in a lifetime opportunity to be able to go there and experience as much as we can. So pretty much all of Australia is what we're hoping to do. And we're good with Perth. It's nice as well because obviously 2 weeks on, 1 week off, we can do like a 5-day holiday here and there to closer places. Like Bali is a 4-hour flight or something like that from Perth. Like, it's actually just amazing how close some places are. I could be wrong, I'll look it up, and if I am wrong I'll put in how long the flight actually is here. But yeah, hopefully that all works out for us. And with the whole you keep a job for 6 months, what we could do is we could save for those 6 months that we're working, kind of, you know, not really go out and stuff, and then we can take an extra month off work before we decide to sign up to a new job. We can go traveling again. So yeah, the aim is just to travel as much as we can, so I'll keep you updated on that. So the next person is, what have you done to prepare for the move? You're moving yourself in 2023. So the only thing I have done is save my money and applied for my visa and booked my flights. That's all I've done. I booked my flights through Skyscanner. I applied for my visa on the Australian government website, and I saved and saved and saved a lot of money. I moved out of the apartments, I moved back home, I cut my expenses, and basically that's what I did to prepare for Australia. I've spoken to lots of my friends who are over there. I've watched videos like this video right here, and I've just been soaking up the TikToks of Irish people or English people who've moved down under, and that's basically all I've done. I'm just a kind of go with the flow person. I just don't really want to plan too much. My dog is still going crazy outside, so if you can hear them, very sorry. Okay, so the next question then is, am I bringing my laptop camera with me throughout the trip? And the answer is yes, I will be. So like I said, I am going to be sending over all of my like work and office and like daily clothes over to Sydney to be collected when I actually arrive there. Besides that, then I'll just be having like a few casual things, like a couple of pairs of pants, some normal t-shirts, just like get me through the weeks off and things like that, and then all my summer clothes and stuff for Thailand and for Perth, because Perth is still going to be really, really, really warm. But I will be bringing my handbag with me on the flight, and that'll have my laptop, my charger, my camera, my phone. I'll be bringing them with me throughout the entire thing. It is a very, very safe tour. Like I said, we're staying in most places like 1 or 2 nights at a time. If there's a safe, I'll put my stuff in a safe, but everything should be okay. We've been advised that, like, you know, your personal private stuff should be perfectly fine, and I'll just keep them hidden or something like that in a safe and secure place. But yeah, I am going to bring them with me. I don't think I'd survive without my laptop. It'd be handy just to connect to Wi-Fi and watch a movie here and there if me and Jamie want to watch one, and as well as that, I want to bring my camera so I can vlog everything and I can upload YouTube videos for you guys to see. So yeah, I'll be bringing them with me. But guys, that's actually all the questions, so I think I've answered absolutely everything for Thailand today. If there is any other questions, please let me know. And look, if I've gotten any information wrong or anything like that, or if something is updated, do let me know. I know the 6-month thing is something that people always like come back to me and said that that isn't actually happening, but like I said, I'm pretty sure that rule was just lifted during COVID, because a lot of workers in Australia that are Irish and English had left, obviously due to COVID. So to kind of invite people to come back, to get rid of that 6-month restriction, but as far as I know, it's been reinforced this year, 2023. So just in case people have a few questions or like want to leave any comments below, do leave them below, and I will leave a follow-up video when I'm done Thailand. So I'll try to vlog as much of Thailand as I can and show you as well, but everything I've mentioned today is linked. But yeah, I'm moving away on the 3rd of February. I will do a what I'm packing video as well, just for anyone who's kind of interested. But yeah, if anyone is interested in like how I'm going to pack, I'm going to be packing my good quality and my basic clothes. I don't think there's a point to bringing anything that I think is trendy or fashionable. I'm going to be bringing my good quality blazers, my really good quality basics like plain t-shirts, plain bodysuits, as much things that I can wear as many times as possible without it looking like I'm always wearing the same clothes. Anything that's good quality and fits me well, I'm going to be bringing with me. I'm not going to go overboard with the shoes and stuff like that. Probably 2 pairs of runners, a pair of jocks and 1 pair of sandals. I'm going to post over a pair of heels in as well, because I don't think I'll need that in the time that I'm there. I never even wear heels out anyways, and I feel like my proper big nights out and stuff would be in Sydney anyway. So yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. I'll probably bring a handbag or 2. More than likely they'll be posted over as well. I can't see me being like living the kind of normal life that I live here while I'm in Perth. I feel like that's just my farm work and my regional work, and that's my messy and dirty situation, and in Sydney is when I'll have the extra luggage to kind of get me through. But guys, that is everything. Thanks so much for watching. Like I said, if there is any comments, please do leave them below. Sorry if I spoke really fast. I'm a really, really fast speaker, but I will keep you updated here on YouTube, over on my TikTok and over on my TikTok and on my Instagram stories. So please do give a subscribe here. I'd love to get my subscribers up, and give me a follow over on those 2 channels as well. The account's name is Lord Keely. But thanks for watching, guys. I'm looking forward to moving over, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.